Man, let me know when you recording, man. When you know.
I'm recording. I recorded you last time, and you're recorded now.
So what, you just gonna edit it up?
Yes.
I got you. Let's go.
And the stupid stuff you say that I might add to the video.
Nah, you got to get this part. This the actual part.
No, I'll probably get some of the other stuff too.
Look how you setting me up, man.
That's the organic stuff.
Attention, you are now tuned in to Brown Woman Speaking, a podcast where I'll have candid conversations covering a variety of topics from self-love, entrepreneurship, mental health, relationships, and a whole bunch of clown. Shut your mouth. Let's get into the episode.
What's up, y'all? I'm Portia, and this is Brown Women Speaking, a podcast where my guests and I have meaningful conversations that I hope will spark new ideas, perspectives, and attitudes in our culture. I am joined today by a self-proclaimed entrepreneur, founder of Be Someone LLC, an investment group created to serve distressed communities, provide affordable living, and create positive investment strategies within a Black community with hopes that we can all be someone. He is a graduate of the University of Louisiana at Lafayette and a member of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. In his spare time, however, he participates in debates, such as the one I am sure you will witness today. Welcome to the podcast, Jameson M. Jackson, and the infamous man.
What's good? What's good?
Y'all, this dude already done started getting on my nerves. Already.
Man, I'm just trying to make sure we represent it well. That's all,
Who
That's
represented
it.
well? The people from Stankaloosa? Because that's what I'm getting.
Man, Bo represented well, as long as I'm in the building. We putting on for Bo.
I forgot to add to his intro that he's from Stankaloosa, Louisiana.
Bugaloosa, Louisiana, 985. Get it right, man.
If you know what Stankaloosa is, you know.
Portia, where you from again?
Independence.
Oh, okay. Bugaloosa, man, it's the realest city you could ever be raised from. And we breed good people. That's what I'm going to say. You know what I'm saying? It's a little urban, a little rough, but if you make it out of there, you can make it from anywhere.
Yeah, because your nostrils just die every day.
Man, you gotta edit that, man. Nobody don't know about all that. Don't put my shit out there, man. Like
no, that. I have felt like I've been in a debate tournament with this man for weeks. I don't even know how many weeks at this point. So I decided that we should bring the conversation to the podcast so the folks can get involved and see just how foolishness this young man is. Okay. But before we get into that, my brown business of the week is Sierra Nicole Photography, located in Hammond, Louisiana. Her Instagram is Sierra Nicole Studio, which I will link down below. SierraNicoleStudio.com to book. She believes that photography is not just a hobby, it is a lifestyle. Her services range from group bridal portraits, business headshots, engagements, maternity sessions, and more. From my personal experience with her, she is extremely professional and has an amazing personality. So again, you can check her out at her website, SierraNicoleStudio.com, and on Instagram at Sierra Nicole Studio, which I'll link both below. Now let's get into the episode.
Shout out Sierra to another 985 personnel. I love it. Love to see it.
Our debate started when this person right here, Matt, in the wake of the Black Lives Matter uproar, reposted a meme that stated, "Dear Black women, we got your back too. Signed, a Black man." Now, what I messed up was, and that I still regret, that I replied and said, "I pray that's true." And this what got me here today, okay? I've been being bullied for 4 weeks. We're going to start the debate back up today about how I feel about Black men and Black women and the dynamic.
Let's go. Brothers, I'm about to try to hold it down to the best of my ability. All I'm going to say is I tried, all right, y'all? So I know I'm climbing an uphill battle here, but we're going to keep climbing, all right? We shall overcome. Let's go, P.
You tell the people how you felt about the meme. Why did you originally post it?
On social media, I feel like I endorse different things that I actually promote. What I feel, I saw the post, I thought that it was actually something positive that you usually don't see on social media. A lot of times you see different, perspectives on social media, different hashtags, different little comments and quotes. And a lot of it, I feel, depending on, what you follow and what you intake, is not positive. So when you see a comment like that saying like, we with y'all, I feel like my perspective is the black woman been with us, always is gonna be with us. So we definitely need to be able to reciprocate that same energy. Well, in hopes that I'm just gonna put out a positive message as a black man, my DM get hit like, I pray this true, implying like it wouldn't be true, like, black men don't have black women back. So I had to challenge that, thought process as to why wouldn't it be true? You know what I'm saying? And P, I'm gonna just bring it back to the forefront for the people right now to try to get a better understanding as to how do you feel black men don't have black women back? You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so originally when you posted the post, yes, I felt the post was very positive. It was nice seeing a couple different black men post about being protectors and having our back and so forth and so on. Now, I said I pray that's true, that you guys start really having our back how we have your back. I don't feel that if I fall, one of y'all gonna pick me up. I don't. And that's the perspective of, a lot of women.
Agreed.
It's not all men, all black men, but it's, majority. And that's why I felt, you know, you posted the post in the first place because you saw the lack of support. And now you want to, let us know that y'all coming to have our back. Am I wrong? Because you'd have been debating
Um,
about it for.
so I guess, this is our first time having open dialogue about the matter. I'm not gonna state you wrong. I do think that that's a lot of black women's perspective, possibly. Maybe not all, like you said, but I think that at the same time, that can go both ways. So, my initial, like I said, my initial stance was to push the positive message. I like to support positive things that's happening, like we all do. And I think that a lot of times, as a race, I feel like we work against each other. The black male works against the black male. And now, in certain scenarios, I personally feel that I see the black woman working against the black male, and maybe even a black woman working against a black woman in certain incidents. When we look at it and we say, the black male doesn't, support, or I guess if you utilize the word protect, um, I don't think that is for all, scenarios, right? I don't think that's for all, and I guess, I want to, one, be more aware of, what is it that we're being asked to do, and
Mhm.
then two, you know, I also want to say how I feel about some of the, like, negativity, like, and some of the things that's put out there that could be really, a black male could just, really want to work against that because it's put out there like your narrative, it's a negative connotation, and ours, and that can just kind of be counterproductive to the overall common good, which is we should be working together.
Okay, so
You
you're
know,
saying that it's possible that because black women have put out a negative
there we go.
narrative about black men is the
And
reason.
how they feel, not even just about, but it's just like how you feel. Like this man ain't this man ain't that. You know what I'm saying? A black man ain't this.
But you have to agree that history has shown black men to be less attentive and uh what am I trying to say? Present in the lives of Black women, whether it be their partners, their fathers, you know, we get a whole lot of half half of a man,
Yeah.
half of an effort. So that's how, so over time, those are the narratives that we have formed. And now we're telling you guys that we want you to break down those narratives and show us something different. So the post
Correct.
was positive, but then we also want you guys to understand where we're coming from, like what our sides are. Now, what we do have to stop doing is grouping all of you together, and y'all
Another
have to
good
start
point.
grouping all of us together as well.
Another good point. Two good points.
So just like when 50 Cent started talking about how Black women are angry and this, that, and the third, not all Black women are angry. And what's wrong
Facts.
with us getting mad?
Thanks.
I feel that a lot of Black women are held to such a standard of perfection. Black men too, but y'all
Let's go there. Let's go there.
but
That's
y'all have
where I want to
started to
go.
hold us to such a level of perfection where we have to look perfect and walk perfect and act perfect. And then if you maybe go and talk to a woman of a Spanish woman, a Hispanic woman, she'll have our same attributes, but she's not held to the standard that we are held to. So maybe you're saying the
I
Black
disagree with that.
the Black woman has an attitude. If we get mad about something and then you'll go to the Spanish woman and she gets upset about the same thing and gives you the same attitude, but hers is maybe sexy and ours is disrespectful.
I got a lot to say about what you just said. You said a mouthful.
Okay.
The Black woman has to be perfect. I think that as a race, we put a lot of pressure on the black women.
Mm-hmm.
But on the flip side of that, I also think that it's a lot of pressure placed upon a Black man. So the examples you use, like how you dress, you know what I'm saying, how you look, etc. When you look at the Black man, we're criticized like to the utmost. And I think you guys got to really start to see how it's really the same thing. I think we just have come to a point to where it's like we don't care. And that's why I think, not saying like we actually don't care, because I don't feel like everyone feels like that, but I think some men like really don't care what a lot of people are saying or thinking, because they know they have their due diligence to do what they're going to do for themselves, however they're going to present themselves, however they're going to be. You know, if you're going to do this, you're going to be this person. They really just stand on that. And I think that the Black woman sometimes, now we're seeing a lot of Black women that have that same stance. And now I feel like it's two almost separate entities. Like, okay, y'all over here, we over here. I'm going to be a boss chick. I don't need this man. I don't need this. I don't need that. And the dudes over here like, man, I don't need them for nothing, this, and that. So like, okay, so I'm going to show you how,
But I
the
don't
same.
think that's something that I don't think that's a narrative that we created for ourselves. I think that was something that was passed down to us, and now we've taken it on.
Yeah, well, it may have been passed down, but now it's kind of promoted. So when you look at like the perception overall, it's like every chick, like I'm a bad chick. I don't need a man to do this. I don't need nobody. Like I don't need you for anything. Basically,
she don't need you.
Well, I mean, you get what I'm saying.
Right. As Black women, we have been raised to not need a Black man or need a man.
Well, let me correct that. I don't want you, really. I don't want nothing to do with y'all. Y'all no good. Nothing positive coming out of y'all. You know what I'm saying? You make a post and it's like, I hope that's true. As a Black man, I can make the same argument to say, I'll be honest with you, I don't want to put that negative like energy out there for everyone, and this doesn't apply for everyone. But I do feel as though, one could say that Black women don't always have the Black man's back. You know what I'm saying?
In what way though? In what aspect?
A lot of times Black women are not like really fully supportive of what a man is trying to accomplish or why he's trying to do something. You know what I'm saying? Or even being conducive to what he's trying to accomplish, whether it be for us, like meaning, for the race, or whether it be for, you and I in a like a partnership, or whether it be for your family. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, I'm not gonna say a lot of times, this doesn't apply to all. So, if you listen to this, I'm not saying this is for everyone, right? But what I am gonna say is I feel like there are spots to where, Black men want women to just really be supportive to whatever the greater, goal is that we're trying to accomplish. And this is like a positive thing that we may be trying to accomplish, whether if it's building wealth, having an abundance lifestyle, whatever it may be. And, a lot of times I don't feel like we always get that, because all we see when you look into a lot of these different, outlets is, like, oh, he ain't this, he not that, oh, he corny, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, he not really like that. Or, like the post you stated today, he don't have a beard, so he ain't attractive. Or, girl, he can't dress. Or, he not tall enough. All of that goes into guys like, that goes into like a guy has to basically like be perfect. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing wrong. Everybody have a preference, you dig? So it ain't about you, like it's a preference, but when you look at the overall perception, if a Black man just sit back and see what be going on, definitely when you tie that into media, you know what I'm saying? You really would just like be like, yeah, like all of this out here and this is what y'all putting out here, so I'm gonna just run through all of this basically.
I feel as though the whole a woman supporting your endeavors or your dreams, that's not technically a gender thing. It's more so a person to person thing. Like if I don't dream big, it's nothing that I can give you. Like I can't support you on something, on your vision, and I can't see it, if that makes sense.
But
Like
it's a lot of women that can't support you in a lot of different ways, because maybe they're dealing with their own personal issues, personal traumas, personal, development. But what I'm saying is, like, when we are leaning on y'all for that, it's really hard to get that.
So do you can't lean on me and I can't lean back on you.
So I think that a lot of times, when you get with someone that is attempting to do something with themselves, be someone, you know what I'm saying? Like really trying to do something, that is someone you can lean back on.
Shameless plug.
Yeah, I had to plug, but that is someone that's trying to be someone. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's someone you can lean on. You can go to them for advice, maybe spiritual advice, maybe mental advice, maybe financial advice.
So do you feel like you give? I think that as men and women, we have to break from the this idea of perfection, because we don't understand how two people can still be growing, learning, or be
Facts.
broken. Like I can only give you what I can give you.
Facts.
That's something I have actually.
That's something I had to learn.
Yeah, I learned that like with my dad and with my parent, both of my parents. Like, okay, maybe now that I'm an adult and I have better understanding, that they gave me everything that they can give me. Now I'm expecting the moon and the stars, but they only had the stars to give me.
So you have some sense of forgiveness for what they can't provide, right?
Yes, but that's.
Do you think that the Black man get that same margin of error and same forgiveness?
Y'all get a huge margin of error.
Woo. Well,
But
I lie.
the difference,
we get some.
the difference between so I don't feel that y'all give us that same margin of error.
How so?
If we
Elaborate.
make error, you know, time and time again, you've heard Black men bash Black women if they ask why you date outside your race is bashing us and this, that, and the third. Now we have
the Black man get the same treatment though.
No, who we date? What? Who?
If a Black man date outside their race, we get bashed. That's understood.
Listen. we only bashing y'all. Me personally, I can only speak for myself. I don't like when if you're talking to a Caucasian woman and your friend asks you, "Hey, bro, why you like her?" And every reason for why you like that woman is because of us, because black women don't do this, and black women do this, and black women don't do this. That's what we don't like. And then those that gives those people space and opportunity to come and disrespect us. That's a part of y'all not having our back. Now, if somebody come, if a white man come and say something out of line about y'all, we 10 toes down. Matter of fact, we not even giving them the opportunity to even think that's comfortable, that they can be comfortable. That's like you going around your friends. Well, your friends going around somebody and that person bashing you. I would want my friend to speak up for me when I'm not in the room. And I don't feel like y'all speak up for us when we not in the room. I speak
But
up, even though you think I just hate black men to death.
I don't think that.
I'm gonna speak up for y'all. I might say, okay, that's true, but you also have to understand that XYZ. Y'all ain't never gonna say that. Y'all gonna let them talk just like when 50 was on there talking about us like a little dog. Wayne ain't do nothing but chuckle.
So y'all have to understand. This is what I think, and this is a good point. I'm glad you used the 50 analogy, right? Because this is gonna be a good point for me.
Okay, go ahead.
You have to understand that a lot of men, you got different type styles of people, right? You know, you have your analyticals, you have your different type of people. A lot of men are not emotional driven decision makers, and we don't like just base things off emotion. A lot of women on the flip side are based on and built upon emotion. So example, the 50 Cent, line or whatever he said about black women, and I saw a couple things that he was saying, right? We understand that that's just 50 Cent and his perspective, and we understanding like analytical, like that's 50 and he got some different stuff going on, and we see what he put out and we see how he is, and we kind of compartmentalize 50 Cent for who he is in his corner. We can't just sit here and react and like kind of respond to everything that one individual said, right? They might need a nice chick that they really value, and like they really honestly value her perspective, her mind, her intellect, to put them on game and really teach them how to look at certain outcomes, how to look at certain concepts, and how to kind of actually understand. Because let's be real, they mama might couldn't provide them that. They might not have anyone that can really like teach them like, hey, look, this is how you're looking at this, but this is a different outlook. And I personally feel like there's a lot of women like that. You know what I'm saying? They're not aware of like some of the things that they have issues with. And it's not because they don't want to be. Maybe they just need someone to really put them on and grow with them, And I don't feel like black men get that. You talk to a guy that, like I feel like is actually trying to mean well for you, and you have like a really, not just talk to him, but like y'all have a really bond, like a real relationship, you know what I'm saying? I feel like he's gonna try to always put you on. Like and I'm gonna actually boldly say that, like every dude I know always gonna try to put his girl on, because he gonna always look at his girl like an extension of him.
So you don't feel like women give you guys that same
I don't feel like women can always provide that same kind of like
I don't feel like
value to a person.
all men can't provide that same value either.
You're very right, but I think that it's a certain, like there's certain individuals, like all men are not the same, and you said that earlier too. We can't group.
I don't feel it's necessarily. I mean, it's definitely a woman and man thing with the black community, but it's really we all lack understanding, and so I do feel that though we give you guys more understanding in the ways that we know you might not be emotional creatures. We still might, fuss at you about it, but we know, and because we operate off your potential. Like, I know you have the potential to be emotionally connected. I know that you have the potential to be a good conversationalist. This is what I know you have the potential to do. Now, what y'all don't give us credit for is we might be fussing with you. I'm trying not to curse. we might be fussing with you,
I'm trying to as hard.
but it's like when your mom fusses at you for something that she wants you to learn. Our approach might not be right, but the way
That's a
that
big
we are,
problem though.
I know it's the problem,
So
but
that's what I'm saying.
on the
Even
other
like
hand,
what y'all
it's
putting
the
out,
same stuff y'all do.
you was using like analogy from a mother or father perspective to the child. Fussing at a child, you could go in here and fuss at a child all day. That don't mean they're gonna get it. You know what I'm saying? That don't mean they're gonna stop doing what you're asking them to do. When you take a grown man with pride, with all of the testosterone, all of that, and then you say, "Oh, I'm just trying to make you get it, and I'm gonna fuss at you to get it," but you're not showing. You might not saying you personally, but I'm saying like this woman might not possess the real skills that's needed to actually break this down and teach this man how to actually be more emotionally connected, which is what you really want. But it's counterproductive to just be like, get an attitude, like, I'm mad because you ain't getting it, or you.
I don't think women do it consciously though. I think
It's not consciously though.
unconscious thing. But what you just said was that y'all operate off y'all pride. So you can't.
I ain't saying we operate our pride, but we have pride
Okay,
for sure.
you guys are prideful.
Fact.
You can't. Then that's contradicting. If I can't give you knowledge or try to give you wisdom on a subject, and you think you already got it figured out. Then nothing I say, and no matter how I say it, how I bring it to the table, you don't want it like that. Whether I put it on a paper plate or glass, you don't want it. So
I think women
from both sides.
So I think women probably would agree with me on, you guys had experiences where men feel like they know it all, right? And it's like, right, because that's just, what it is, right? I think when you, as a woman, if you really want to add value to yourself and definitely in a relationship, when you have the ability to show that you're intellectual on something, you know what you're talking about, you can actually present things that actually he can value and see, and it's like really like tangible, and he can really appreciate you for it. That's when that man is going to add more value, and that's when he's going to, it's not going to be like, oh, I'm trying to tell him something, he's not listening. You know what I'm saying? A lot of dudes listen to their women. When you look at the relationships where like people I think are healthy, and I'm from the outside looking in, but like they listen to their woman because their woman is providing stuff that they actually, I'm gonna even say need, and then I'm also say stuff that they value. All women don't have the position as of right now that I've experienced, or that I see all the time, to actually add that value and then also be able to break it down and make it make sense for a man. So I think that the ultimate goal, or the like we're trying to communicate things here. I think that women have to understand, like, you have to have value that you can actually add to your dude, your guy. You know what I'm saying? In order for him to like want to like humble himself and like be like, okay, P, you saying this, so this is probably what we need to do. I bet you're right, because that worked. Man, she really, like, he might not tell you all the time vocally, but he might see like, man, Shorty really know what she be talking about. Like, yeah, I'm about to run that. Or my girl trying to like get this internet bag going, and she's researching, they make this much money in XYZ. I'm gonna actually like invest in her and run that up with her, because I see she own it. Versus you just come in like, oh, I just want to do nails, but you don't have no kind of, forecast, no kind of nothing. He might just be like, all right, do your thing, and not get the actual support, because he's not really seeing it all yet. And it ain't your job to prove to him all the time, but I'm saying, like, you have to be able to add that like value for him to like actually increase their value and respect like where you coming from. And I think the same thing goes for a man. Some chicks don't be following after no dudes because they know he on some, clown stuff. Like, you know, like you just don't really have a plan. So it's kind of foolish of me to follow you. But chicks value dudes that like, he got this going, he got that going. I see what he doing. Like, I can get in that somewhere, right? So, you know, that's my perspective on that.
But that's what we have to stop trying to get with
Perfectionist.
people who are not perfectionists. People who are not equally yoked with us. So if you trying to go to level 10 and then you get with somebody who is content with being at level 3,
Facts.
she or he will never have the understanding that you possess. Because they are where they need to be.
You know, some of these chicks IGs and stuff like that, they at 20.
No,
but
they really at level 1. They just perpetrate.
It's facts. But you know, they have this perception, these things going on like they at a 20. Why is it not working? I don't feel like it's two working parties working together. It's black women against black men in some scenarios.
I think the disconnect happens because we're both on our separate sides trying to figure it out. If women don't have me personally, I have a better understanding for a man's perspective because I talk to men on a regular basis. Because I'm my mind is different than a lot of my the women that I'm around because I grew up with guys. And so I'm able to think on a different level than them. And so with that, I can have dialogue like me and you are having with a man, not me forming my own opinion about how he may feel. Or if I come with my opinion, now we can have a conversation about it. Whereas when it's 10 women over here having a conversation about their experiences with these men.
Exactly. And traumas. Because it's real.
Having a conversation about their experience with these women instead of them coming together and having open dialogue so we can fix and mean whatever this middle ground is. We don't do it.
Fact, I agree with you on that totally. But I think it's more women. No. I ain't gonna say it's more women. I'm a lie.
Go ahead.
I'm not gonna even spread that lie. I'm gonna just say that I feel like, you know, women are really vocal about, you know, like it's amongst each other, and now even more so, like, you know, in media and different things like that, right? But especially, and then it's like this: a group of women, you guys hang together. You guys are closer with each other, amongst each other, than black men. So you guys easily pack up. That's facts.
Y'all have conversation with
Nah. You have to look at the masses and the whole picture of what I'm saying. Men have conversations with their friend group. Men running packs of friends. And it's usually not a lot of friends, unless you just like, you know, a friendly type of individual, job type of individual. But men kind of have deeper these kind of conversations amongst 2 to 3 trusted friends. And that's something like, y'all think I'm lying, I'm flying, I need to write that down. Those 2 to 3 people are who they're going to entrust in, because that's the people that they value their opinions. It's like the same thing I'm saying about a woman. Men don't value all dudes' opinion because we look at some dudes like, yeah, you don't really know what you're talking about, right? You know, like you're not in this kind of conversation. Women, on the other hand,
you're saying
anybody
you
know, like a chick could talk to this chick, y'all might not even know each other, but the common thing that y'all might have in common is like, girl, yeah, all these dudes not doing this, and girl, he didn't do this, and then y'all bonded, like y'all almost like we going to the club together, we about to go have coffee, you know what I'm saying? We're going to lunch, we're going to brunch.
We have good conversations about y'all. The thing is, we will collect data. We can collect data on one person, but we will still give you a chance to prove that wrong. Because like I said, we're operating off of your potential. I know you did XYZ, but I feel that you could possibly prove that wrong, or you can change the narrative, or maybe you changed, or your perspective and your views changed.
Do you really feel like all women had that same grace and just give us like this whole potential and like, oh, we can forget
No,
this
I
and that.
don't feel that all women do
All
that.
right.
Just
Cause
like
that's not really, you know what I'm saying? Women hold stuff to
but
men's
a
hair
lot
to
of
10
women,
years ago. You know what I'm saying? So
y'all,
yeah.
this dude steady talking about what he done did 10 years ago. He omitting like the whole 10 years from 10 years ago to now. But we ain't gonna get on it. Okay. Please don't get on it. But
I see what I'm saying. I'm just saying.
I do agree that we will women are data collectors. Y'all constantly collect data from the same group of people.
Our data is collected on how a chick, really just operates with you, what the relationship like, what everything like, you know what I'm saying? And then we go back and we consult. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so if you see a car that you want,
Right.
yeah, the car nice, the car look like it's driving nice, but you still gonna go do the Carfax on the car.
Yeah, then when you see us in 3 rakes, you know what I'm saying? You're not gonna want that car as much. But no, like you gonna still do the Carfax, but if you test driving and you see you know what I'm saying, the transmission about to fall out, you don't want that whip no more. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, that wasn't because of the Carfax that you don't want the whip. That was because of your experience, your direct experience with it. Therefore, you
Agreed.
did the Carfax. It had 3 wrecks, but then you still gave it a chance. And now the transmission about to fall out. And you like, dang, bro, I should have listened to the Carfax. They must have
Nah,
said
if it had 3 rakes, we ain't even getting in that thing.
see what I'm saying? And so why we can't have that same grace? Y'all have both sides are preparing for some sort of disappointment.
The chick, I don't feel so. This is how I
But
feel about the
I
guy.
think y'all give up on us before we give up on y'all.
You think so?
Yeah.
It has. So this is how a guy is.
Because
He
we
has to
can
have.
easily, our minds can be changed. Like I can be stubborn as all get out, and I can believe whatever I want to believe about you. But if you
That's
proving
gonna
me
create a
wrong,
rift, though. If you're stubborn and all of this, and you could want to do that, that's gonna automatically create the rift off of initial contact. If I met you and you like, I'm stubborn and all of this, that's automatically gonna give me like the forearm. And you know what I'm gonna want to do then? I'm just let her be over there. You feel me? Like she mess with me or,
see,
not,
that's
or
what
she
I'm
don't.
saying. Y'all would give us the forearm, and we trying to duck up under it, go to the
Oh
side.
man, no,
We
man.
doing all kind of extra stuff. Y'all, once y'all get the 1 forearm, y'all done ran across the street. That's what I'm saying. Y'all don't give us no kind of lenience.
Thing I look at the guys, you know what I'm saying? It's like that. It has to be something that makes him step back from a chick. Like guys step back from chicks for reasons, huh?
Just simple stuff.
I ain't gonna say simple. I think chicks have to realize that some stuff that y'all might deem as simple might not be simple to a guy. The last 3 guys told you, or the last 3 girls you talked to told you, you got a bad attitude, or in your case, to flip it, you're emotionally, disconnected, and then you don't think that that's a problem and something you need to address amongst yourself. You know what I'm saying? And that's where I feel like so many chicks, like, even nowadays, it's like, oh, you got a bad attitude, so you know what I'm saying? Like that's like it's cool. You feel me? Like that's what's up.
But
That ain't what's up.
that was glorified. Not that it's gonna work.
Facts.
But
Facts.
okay, so if
But not like it's you gotta look at that. The
I'm coming
perception
in
is
and I'm giving you grace on your flaws, then I expect that same thing in return.
feel
So you
that.
feel like men give women the same amount of grace that women give them. Black men speak about black women because that's what's what they've
It's
experienced.
relevant. Yeah.
So most of us have experienced a ton of black men. And so if I keep seeing the same cycle over and over and over and over and over again, then that has molded my perception of black men. Because if
Right.
I've talked to 20 of them and all 20 of them have kind of let me down in some way or another, then that form my perception. So you can't necessarily be upset when Now I meet man number 21 and I come into the situation with this perception. Now it's come to a point where both parties, we gotta try to break down whatever perception the 20 people gave you. Now, me by my lonesome, I gotta try to break that down.
So Pete, I'm stop right there because I'm gonna ask you this. But you're right. That's reality though. What you're saying. That's like how it goes. But honestly, in your opinion, is it really right for a guy that you don't know, fresh, like, you know what I'm saying? He might not be like the last 20 guys to have to work through breaking down his perception. Is that really fair? Now, should he do it if he
Fair for
value?
women, because women do that all the time.
Yes, but I'm saying should we be required to do that if that's something that you're aware of and you know you have developed this perception and you know that's something you should work on prior to you getting with somebody?
I can't necessarily work on it because I have nothing to compare it to.
So, and that's why I talk about like concepts and understanding. Like, you know, my perception on women or the next woman that I talk to can't be based on the last 20 women that I talk to because
But
you just get, it's really not though. It can be if I'm seeing some of those behaviors.
Probably not purposely, but unconsciously, you got it packed away in the back of your head.
I mean, it's just kind of like until somebody show you something different or somebody show you these things, then yeah. But I'm not saying that that's actually fair either though. As Black women, you feel like we won't have y'all backs or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's really hard for Black women to see how Black men could say, oh, y'all don't have our backs. If I was to get on the internet right now and say, man, Black women ain't got our back, I have like 20 DMs. They're like, oh, what you talking about? It's a lie. Woo, this, and that. You know what I'm saying? So it's really hard for y'all to see that. But
Okay,
Black
so
women put that out all the time.
or you gonna go ahead and tell them, if I tell you, we got your back, are you going to explain to me your feelings behind what you said, or are you just gonna stand firm on what you said?
But that's what this whole conversation about. That's how I'm elaborating right now. I'm gonna break it down. So like what I'm saying is if I was to ever make the claim that some Black women don't have our back, is why. This is you don't understand that perception is reality. The negativity you putting out there, you don't understand that that's kind of what dudes are seeing. So y'all know today's age, right? Dudes see a lot of women on what? Media.
Mm-hmm.
So although like that's not really reality, our perception of Black women are formulated on media. That's like you know what I'm saying? You see 80% of your peer group or whatever on media. So that's the perception that's being put out there. So that's what we see. And that's what we're going to kind of manipulate into thinking, even though it may be false or just, you know, like you shouldn't read so deep into it, but that's just the reality of it. So when a chick put on oh, this man ain't this, or y'all make these funny memes or whatever's going on, or these negative memes, or like, you know, y'all under the shade room going in all the time, or whatever the case is, that's the perception that guys are going to pick up on because that's like our sword. I think it's about how you kind of like are able to break down what they're saying and like if it applies or not.
Interpretation of what they just told you.
Right, so, right. Like, and if it applies or not.
To your own situation. Because your situation not as exact as theirs. So I do feel that we have sat in rooms with people. Men have sat in the room with men and women sat in the room with women. And we've had these conversations about the opposite sex. And instead of us taking that and applying it to our own situations, we just taking it. Mm-hmm. And so we're not interpreting it. We're just using it for the base level information about what it is. And now, you know, both parties are tainted. Now, has the media played a part in it? Yes. On both sides. I just feel like this whole conversation, we have jumped to conclusions about the opposite sex, and we have realized that we both have flaws. Thanks. Y'all might not accept ours as much as we accept y'all. But I think that we need to both start having like a better dialogue. I get where you coming from on your side. I hope you get where I'm coming from on my side about y'all having our back more, like, you know, when we out in these streets, out in these trenches, emotionally, physically, all that. Cause it is lacking. You can you agree that it's lacking?
I think it's lacking in areas for sure.
Okay.
Can you agree that it's lacking in areas for black men as well? Whew. Y'all don't know what I accomplished today. See what I'm saying? She don't feel like it's lacking. Y'all just all for the black male, and it ain't nothing like.
If y'all lacking 95%, I'ma give us 27. We're gonna stop our conversation here because we're gonna keep on going on and on and on and on. Well, thank you, Matt, for coming on the podcast. He
Hey,
didn't do too bad today, y'all. He was real calm, cool, and collected today, but he been bullying me all the other days.
man, I appreciate you, P. I appreciate you. I ain't gonna say I'll be bullying, but I'm gonna make sure I push the agenda for black males. You know what I'm saying? Make sure we represent it. Make sure we represent it. In closing, in short, everybody stick together, man. That's the ultimate objective. Don't give up. Stick together. We need each other. That's the only way we're gonna get ahead.
Right. And before we go, I do feel that overall, at the end of our debate, we have decided that we need to have better conversation with each other, better dialogue, and not go in, with loaded guns. And maybe men can understand their faults more, and women, we have to understand our faults as well. Can you agree?
Add value. Don't forget that.
Okay, and add value. Men, capitalized, and women, lowercase. Okay, before you leave, don't forget to subscribe, turn on your post notification bell, and share this episode with your friend or family. Let's spark more conversation on the Black dynamic. That's all for this week. Tune in next week. You don't want to mix the next conversation. Peace.
Deuce.